You're watching New Kids on the Block, the only show of its kind on television which has student leaders debating current issues. On this week's show, we talk about the upcoming internal elections of the Congress Party, how it's taking place after 20 years. We'll play out an interview of a key player as well. Also on the show, the proposal to have simultaneous polls for assembly and parliament elections. Is that a good idea, or is it really going to stop and drop it off the federal structure? Let me just introduce our panelists today. From the ABVP, we have Abhijit Dwivedi, and from the NSUI, we have Akshay Lakra. Now, just before we play out that interview of key leader Jitin Prasada, whose father had challenged Sonia Gandhi 20 years ago, I just wanted to get opening comments in from our panelists. We're seeing these elections after 20 years, and that too, the Congress Party kept delaying them, and now they've been given a deadline by the Election Commission that hold it by December or else. Why is it, and are you not playing into the allegations and accusations by the government that the Congress is completely dynastic? You're so reluctant to have an election.
See, basically, if you're talking about democracy inside the Congress Party, we are having the democracy at the NSUI level also, that is the student level. Congress Party also has the democracy at the Youth Congress level, that is in the national level plus the state level. And even if you look at the main Congress, that is the AICC, and that the state level Congress committees, PCCs, we also have democracy in that. And what is the why it is the time that opposition is targeting us, that why are you having elections right now? And I guess that is not the it is something which should not be criticized right now. That okay, these are the changes that we want, and we are having an election.
Well, one of the things we should tell our viewers is why this issue is intrinsic to the debate that's going on right now is because if we look at the face-off between Rahul Gandhi and the government, in the coming week, we're going to see a head-to-head collision where Rahul Gandhi heads to Gujarat, where the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP National President Amit Shah, they're from, and Amit Shah and top ministers are going to be heading towards Uttar Pradesh and Amethi. So it is a head-on collision, and one of the things that they have on Rahul Gandhi is the fact that they say he's a failed dynast. You heard what Akshay said, Abhijit. How do you counter that?
See, I believe that since 1970s, the Congress is operating like a FOFO, family-owned, family-operating enterprise, and ultimately it is a sort of feudal structure where dynasties are existing at the level of provincial level, and then those dynasties are existing in a good coalition system with the Nehru-Gandhi family in the center. Right. I feel this election is basically a ceremonial exercise which is being compelled by the Election Commission as such, and there's nothing more into this election. As far as the election of NSUI is concerned, if you see the kind of elections which take place.
Isn't it a ceremonial election, Akshay, though? Because he didn't even say that there is a chance I might lose. He said, I'm ready to take on. He didn't even say I'm going to have an election.
If somebody wants to contest in front of him, then he'll be thinking of that, he'll be contesting. But the point is, as far as the dynasty politics is concerned, I guess the BJP should look into themselves. They should look at the Menka Gandhi, Varun Gandhi, Raman Singh or Vasundhara Raje, or late Sri Pramod Mahajan ji.
I think
if somebody in 2004 election, in case of BJP, if the sons and daughters of these particular leaders have come and contested elections, they have to prove their credibility. If you see the case of Rajnath Singh ji, his son Pankaj Singh has been working for almost 10 years for the party, and then he got a ticket. Okay. And even then he is not the minister. On the other hand, in Congress, when Rahul Gandhi came, he was directly said in 2004, Neta banenge.
I just want to take in one reaction from the audience before we go to play out the interview. What did you want to say?
My question is with the NSUI member.
Yeah.
Sir, despite the presence of potential and experienced members like Shashi Tharoor, why Congress is again posting Rahul Gandhi as its president, as its prime minister nominee, despite his continuous failure?
Yeah, I guess if he had failed, he would have lost the 2014 elections. If he had failed.
He has failed, that's why he went to 44.
See, that is the failure of the Congress party, not Mr. Rahul Gandhi.
Who is the leader?
Who is the leader? See, he is the vice president of the Congress party. The Congress party was led by.
So it's mistake of Sonia Gandhi.
No, it is a party which fails. You can't pinpoint a single person. And as far as you question Mr. Shashi Tharoor is concerned, and see, he's a very crucial and a very important person, and he has been leading our party. He is a current MP right now, and if he wants to contest, he could have filed his nomination, and the nomination are yet to begin.
I think that's perfect cue for this really telling interview of Jitin Prasada, another young leader, a former union minister. His father took on Sonia Gandhi, but he says nobody will challenge Rahul Gandhi. Take a look. Why is it that Rahul Gandhi didn't talk about this election? Why did he say, I'm ready to take on this role? Why didn't he even mention the election?
He said, I'm ready to fight the election.
He didn't say that.
That's what he meant.
I'm ready to be. That's what he meant, but he didn't say that. So doesn't it show that there is really no challenge? And why is there no challenge? Why isn't there aren't there young people within the Congress party who are ambitious as well? Is ambition a wrong thing in the Congress party, Jitin?
Not at all. In fact, in the business of politics, that is one thing that drives you.
Yeah.
But let me tell you that when it comes to the election of the Congress party and its president, it is a very, very large election where those delegates who've risen up the ladder from the booth level to the block level to the district level, they will be electing you. So, like I said, politics is a ruthless game. If anybody did see a chance of winning, they probably put their hat in the ring.
If someone, okay.
But
so, okay,
it's open to everybody. You can file your nomination after a selected date according to that schedule that's going to be out.
Right.
But I don't see anybody capable enough. It's more or less certain that Rahul Gandhi
will be unopposed. And no one will challenge him either.
And that's not a bad thing, because if anybody in their wisdom thought that they were capable of challenging him, they have all the freedom to throw their hat in the ring and challenge him. So Rahul Gandhi will be Congress president not by being appointed, but by right, because he has thrown his hat in the ring and he doesn't have a challenger.
It's interesting that your father was complete Gandhi loyalist. He was very close to Rajiv Gandhi, and yet to have this kind of healthy democracy and send out that message of saying that, look, we have elections, and because Congress party has had elections, 20 years ago when the elections took place, because it was the talk, he stood for those elections, and yet he was also punished for and sidelined because he dared to challenge Mrs. Sonia Gandhi.
You're wrong.
I'm wrong.
Absolutely wrong.
This is what the history books tell me.
No, they don't. I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
See, as far as what led to the election, what were the circumstances, who were the people around him, I really have no clue, because I was very young. Yeah. And all I know that he did fight the election, but that's part of history. I can tell you what happened after that when I was there. If there was any sidelining that was to happen, I wouldn't have been inducted in the Congress party by Mrs. Gandhi. She ensured that I got a nomination to the party ticket when 2004 elections came. I was made minister in the very first term, which is very rare for anybody.
So quite a revelatory and telling statement by the Congressman Jitin Prasada, saying that it is Rahul Gandhi's right. Now, before I get reactions from our panelists, I just want to, you want to go first?
I just want to ask one question that
on the Congress?
Yeah. Not only from Congress, but from all the parties, that we are talking about here dynasty. He said that he is right. Okay, so the unfortunate or unluck of this country is that the most educated men are being ruled by the uneducated ones. Here, rulers aren't allowed to have a qualification. There is no qualification, there is no degree, because practicality comes with theory. Yeah. You can't apply practical knowledge without you are having some theory.
You mean there's no meritocracy here?
Exactly.
Okay, do you want to respond to that, Akshay?
See, actually, then we should have a look at the qualification of the country's Prime Minister, first of all. Second thing, and if you want to introduce, if there is a demand in this country by the young people and there is a unanimous decision that we should have some minimum qualification to be a leader or to a politician or to be an elective representative, then it's good. There should be one. At least we don't have cabinet ministers or the prime minister with fake degrees.
Okay, respond to that.
We will not have them at least.
I think other than making these statements, I would like to answer the question directly. I believe that when in the country when there is more than 33% people who have not been educated, if you keep certain kind of people outside the system, that they can't contest election, they can't be part of a system just because they are not having a degree or they are not having artificial barriers always existed in front of them, then this is a very wrong thing. So if you bring all kind of people into the system, then you factor in a lot of other factors in governance which are otherwise not existing therein. So people from scheduled caste and scheduled tribe at the point when the election began in India, if the process of election, because how you see the literacy rate is just literacy rate. It's not just
about something else. Yeah, very quickly.
Then there are bureaucracies for that.
I'm not talking about the scheduled caste or scheduled tribe or caste system, because that is.
No, I'm not talking about it. I perfectly understood it.
Sir, that is what is a vote bank for you. If that has not been a vote bank for you, you would have
done
reservation for BPLs.
See,
you won't have done reservation for scheduled caste.
Next question, yeah.
Senator, I should be allowed to make a statement. My comment was specifically regarding the literacy thing.
Okay, you clarified that.
Large parts of India.
Let's move on. Yeah.
I will just ask one question from the AEBP member, that how BJP will give an explanation toward that criminalization of politics.
But we're talking about internal party.
That is related to that internal democracy.
Do you have an example in mind?
Exactly.
Yeah, who?
The CM of Jharkhand, Raghubar Das. He has 8 cases pending on him, and all those cases are severe.
No, all these cases, the cases pending against Raghubar Das. Technically, like when before show I said that I don't go to BJP office as such, and we are not part of BJP. But I would like to say that in case of Raghubar Das, if you see, he was a trade union leader, and in case of trade union leaders, fictitious cases have been continuously filed against leaders, and that happens across the party. Just because cases or FIR has been filed, that doesn't become itself an evidence of criminalization.
My question is to the member of the NSUI. You said that there is an internal democracy in the Congress. I agree to the point, but don't you think that internal democracy is confined to quite a very small level? Because
it's not at all. It's not at all.
Because if that had been happened, then why it is that since 1947 or even prior to that, the Congress has been led by the handful of the people belonging to a particular dynasty?
That's a really good point.
If you're asking for the democracy in the Congress party, if you even look at, let me complete that. Even if you look at the NSUI, the process of the national president election began like 4 or 5 months ago, and it was cleared open.
That's the NSUI, but he's asking about AICC.
I'm starting from NSUI. I'm starting from the very grassroots level. I'm starting from the very grassroots level.
Okay, no.
If you come up to the youth congress, if you come up to the youth congress,
my point is not that democracy is not at the grassroots level. In fact, there is internal democracy in the Congress at the grassroots level. But when it comes to the highest pedestal,
even if you look at the democracy in the BJP or in the right-wing party, there is no democracy in the ABVP. There is no democracy in the even if
Akshay, answer his question about the AICC and the fact that the CWC or your highest decision or
the CWC committee members doesn't it includes various other members. If you go through the list, if you go visit the website inc.in,
they're just nominated.
If you look at it, the CWC, it's a committee. It's a committee which is formed.
It's a committee of people who are regularly in power, and that's what I said. Congress is like a feudal system.
But
when in dynasty exists at the state level,
and those dynasties for a long time. We haven't seen an election even in the AICC.
See, if you are asking about the president of the Congress party, it started from Annie Besant. She was the first. She formed the Congress party.
Okay, one last question and then we take a break. Yeah, what did you want to ask?
Didn't form it.
I want to ask to a BVP candidate that in the recently held DUSU elections, the presidential candidate was Rajat Chaudhary, who barely had the guts to speak and had a case lodged against him. While the Mahameda Nagar, who had represented India at the international fronts, he was not given the presidential candidate. she was not given the presidential candidate and was given the secretary candidate.
Okay, that's very, very micro now for a national program. Yeah, what question did you want to ask?
I actually wanted to say that BJP has actually lost the moral compass to question the Congress, especially on dynastic politics. Be it Pankaja Munde or be it Pankaj Singh or any other leader, just one sinner just now in news. I think you lost the moral compass.
I would
just
like
to add just one more point. I
have answered that question.
Just one more point to that, and I could just add and finish. I think just not dynasty. I think nepotism is dynasty is a direct form of nepotism, and when it comes to nepotism, I think BJP has even overlaps the Congress.
Why do you say that?
Just to take a very recent example, you could see probably Sambit Patra. The entire social media is flooded of how he's going to be paid. I think around 27 lakhs of being the ONGC director. If you don't call that nepotism, I don't know what it is.
Okay.
See, I would
so
like
he
to
was
answer.
the one. He was
Let
the
him
one.
respond.
He was the one criticizing Jawaharlal Nehru on the ONGC thing. If you look at his tweets,
no,
and
Akshay,
now he's
let Abhijit respond to that. Yeah.
See, my point is very clear. In case of Pankaja Munde or in case of Pankaj Singh or any other politicians who have come to power, they haven't. It was the day when they joined the politics. It was not that they are going to be appointed some minister. Or they are going to be the head of the party.
You can say of Pankaj Singh. You can't say of Pankaja Munde.
No. In case of Pankaja Munde,
she's relatively inexperienced.
Pankaja Munde ji was when her father died, the party thought that at the election, the winnability is a very important criteria.
What are the qualifications of Dushan Singh?
I think I am not representative of BJP here, but I am telling as a conscious citizen that what is happening in the party, and I believe that there is no such thing that the day you join, you are decided that you are destined to become the CM of the particular state from which your father or your mother comes.
And in short case now, we'll continue talking about this and also the idea of simultaneous polls. We'll do a quick thing around our audience and our panelists. Is that the best thing for our country? That's coming up in just a bit. It's time now for our second debate on New Kids on the Block, and there was quite a big announcement where the election commissioner announced that they had moved a proposal for simultaneous polls for assembly and Lok Sabha elections in 2018. I wanted to ask you, Akshay, is that something the Congress supports?
See, it's not about supporting that, but changes like this. If you're having the simultaneous election, that is the assembly election and the general election together, it basically curbs the power. First of all, there are pros and cons of everything, but it curbs the power of an average voter, because people right now, we are the youngest nation. Let me tell you that we are the youngest nation, and the youngest nation. What happened in 2014? We have been going through a phase, and if we are made to choose at that very moment that select someone who will rule your state, select someone who will rule your country at that very moment, we won't have the time.
By youngest, of course, you mean that the demography is such that most of the voters are under 35, and so it's a young. What did you want to say?
I think it is extremely shameful when somebody says that the voter itself is a problem. Voter is immature. I think your party and you have.
Who is declaring the voter is immature?
No, because you are saying that the people will not be able to understand that whether they are going to vote the same people. I think this is a very wrong position which has been said by him.
We need not to make foolish decisions. We are not here to make foolish decisions, please.
To whom they want to vote in state and to whom they want to vote in center.
However,
in the case of the proposition,
you have completely lost it. Who is declaring the voter immature?
In this regard, should be done.
Which
because
party?
When you say young and you say that people will, if they have to vote.
If we shout like this, we are not going to go. I just wanted to ask you, there are some states which fear the Aam Aadmi Party, and even the Congress at some points have said that it robs federalism, the idea of federalism.
Basically, if you look at Haryana, elections are held in the month of October. It happened in the month of October 2014, and the general election in Haryana happened in the month of April 2014. But now, just a month ago, Mr. Manohar Lal Khattar, CM of Haryana, he declared that in 2019, the assembly election will be held with the general election, because he has completely lost it. If you look at the state of Haryana, they are forced to rely. Let me complete that. Let me complete that.
That whether the election will take place.
There is a difference between a debate and an argument.
We're ending our time. I just wanted to get a quick couple of comments in. Yeah. Someone who hasn't spoken. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, my question is, like as you are talking regarding the simultaneous elections of Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha, what is the accountability of that particular elections if we conduct? How is the government is accountable?
How is the?
Interesting, yeah. Do you give a mandate to the state government? How do you show your mandate separately for the state and the center?
See, if you see the pattern which has been, Election Commission has already earlier also presented a report on the same thing. Parliamentary committees have also discussed this thing. There will be two ballots in which you are going to vote. I said. My short point was the feasibility test regarding this process of simultaneous election need to be done.
Okay.
There are questions as to whether if suppose
what is of doubt is whether it's even cheaper. Many people pose it as cheaper, but everybody is not convinced of that. Yeah, what did you want to ask?
As we have seen from in the past 3 years, that from 2014 we have seen Rahul Gandhi as not a very strong leader. He has spoken something.
We have seen that from 2014 that he's not a strong leader.
Well, that's
opposition leader.
That's his impression.
How did you see?
So I want to ask you that how and on what grounds is Congress projecting Rahul Gandhi as prime ministerial candidate? Because if we look
we get the question. Yeah, go ahead.
Right now, Mr. Rahul Gandhi will be elected as the president of the Congress party, not as the prime minister candidate of 2019. That is the first point. Second point, what I want to say, what you are saying that Mr. Rahul Gandhi has failed, to establish himself as a leader. That's what you said. Let me correct you. Congress party won the Punjab elections under his leadership. Congress party secured more seats in Sikkim than the BJP under his leadership. We secured a better number in Goa than in his leadership. And
but lost
even if you look at the university elections, Congress party, the newly formed NSUI committee under his leadership, we won Delhi University, we have won the Rajasthan University, we have won the Punjab University.
One second, out of 2 lines to counter him, then
see,
we'll finish.
my simple point is that if it is already decided, it is already decided election and it is merely ceremony, nothing more. I think as far as election results are concerned, there is a lot of things happening just because of 2 seats, just because you win 1 more seat in Dusu, that doesn't mean that the entire nation has changed.
Okay, well, we're going to see lots of face-off between the government and Rahul Gandhi in the coming week, but really this really gives us lots to think about, these internal elections that are coming up and about all our political parties and what kind of democracy they practice. That's it on New Kids on the Block. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.